Hi guys, my name is Elena Thoms and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be talking about setting goals for the new year. So basically like New Year's resolutions. I like to call them goals, but it's basically the same thing. So we're going to be talking about how to set goals for the new year and why that's so important. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you guys to please like and subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of videos about personal development and just fun, helpful stuff. So setting goals, obviously it's a very popular thing to do. A lot of people don't stick to their resolutions. I know you guys have probably heard, it's so funny how gyms are like overflowing with people in like January and February because everyone's signing up for a gym membership because everyone wants to get fit, right? For the New Year's, and then trail off around March, April, and it goes back to normal, right? And then there's the normal number of people in the gym and it's not overcrowded anymore. So people clearly have a hard time sticking to their goals and their resolutions, right? So what can we do to help motivate ourselves to actually follow through with our goals and our resolutions? Well, one of those things is actually writing it down. So I've started a habit or practice of writing down my goals. I usually start thinking about this in, December, early December is when you want to start brainstorming and writing down some of your ideas. Writing it down on paper is a great idea. I actually have a Word document where I keep mine now. So I'm going to be going over the main categories that you want to think about, because you don't want to just have a few things that are kind of surface level, like, I don't know, losing weight is like such a common one, but there's so many other things in life that are really important that are going on that you should also be setting goals about. Like, obviously health is important, but there's so much more to health than just losing weight, right? And there's so much more to life than just losing weight also. So you should have goals in multiple categories going on in your life. So what are some of the categories that we want to think about? First one I have listed is finances. So you want to think about your financial goals for the new year. And when you guys are writing down or typing out these goals or these resolutions, you want to be very specific. So instead of saying that you want to increase your savings, you want to get specific and say, I will have whatever the number is, $10,000 in savings by the end of 2021. So you want to be specific, or by November, whatever the month is, or whatever your goal is specifically. So you don't want to be generic with the way you're writing this out. You want to be specific. And something else I really suggest is rereading these goals throughout the year. I literally put it on my calendar, like when I'm supposed to go back and reread this stuff, because you're gonna forget. Time's gonna go by and it's not fresh in your mind anymore. Like all those people who stop going to the gym, they lose interest, or life gets busy, and life is going to get busy, right? No matter what. So revisiting what you wrote down, revisiting this list is crucial, and it is so helpful. I almost feel like throughout the year, when I go back and reread my goals, it like rejuvenates me, it remotivates me, and it like brings back all of the good feelings I had when I first wrote it. You know, those good feelings you have when you're all fired up and you're thinking about all of your goals. Okay, so like I said, the first one is finances. So what are your financial goals? Where do you want to be? And write down specifically like when and how much. And you can even break it down into smaller bits instead of like just saying by the end of the year. You can say 3 months in I should be here, 6 months in I should be there, 9 months. You get what I'm saying? Okay, another one is career. What are your career goals specifically? If you're in a job that you are already really happy with, great, but that doesn't mean that you don't have career goals anymore. You should always be looking ahead and thinking about what else you could be doing, should be doing. If you don't have drive to do more with your career, then that's kind of sad, and that's something you should really look at. If you've lost interest, that's a sign, right? So maybe that's the situation you're in. Maybe you've lost interest with your career and you're not feeling motivated. If that's the case, then you're gonna want to set goals for applying to new jobs and exploring other interests. So what are your career goals, and be specific when you're writing these down. Okay, the next one is spiritual. So for me, I'm not religious. Obviously, if you're religious, you might have things going on with your church that you have goals for, or if you're just spiritual on your own, you can write down like, is there maybe a retreat you want to do, or do you want to maybe do some outreach in some way, or this could even be related to giving back, volunteering, or just starting a meditation practice, right? So anything like that makes you feel wholesome and good about what you're doing, or giving back in some way, that can be included in the category of spiritual, or rename it, or whatever's appropriate for you. Okay, so the next one is physical health. So health is so important, right? So like all those people going to the gym in January, are you gonna be one of them? Great if you are, but you really want to write down the specifics so that you stick with the program. And you don't want to be overly ambitious either, because that's a big problem with setting goals, is that some people will be overly ambitious and they actually get overwhelmed, and then they don't even follow through with any of it. There's a fine line with setting these goals and resolutions where you want to push it, but you don't want to push it so far that it's intimidating. So you want to set goals that will push you and will expand you, but you don't want to set goals that are so kind of unrealistic that it's already discouraging from the beginning. So like with the finances, maybe don't say that you're gonna make $1 million this next year. You know, you can say you're gonna set an amount that you know will be difficult to reach, but isn't completely unattainable. Okay, so with physical health, you know, you don't want to be one of those people who flakes out and doesn't go to the gym anymore after just a couple months. So set some realistic goals that you know will still be pushing you, that you know you can probably meet. So if you're not working out at all, maybe just say 2 times a week, I'm gonna go to the gym. Or if gym isn't your thing, maybe it's going on a few walks. I like to set running goals because I'm a runner and I love running. It makes me feel so good, mentally, physically, everything. So my goals with running usually relate to my mileage. So I use like a running tracker app thing, and it'll show me like how many miles I've run this week, this month, and for the cumulative year. So that's a really great way for me to kind of see, like, what did I do last year? And then what do I want to do this year, this next year? So for example, I know that for this year I did 500 something miles, right? So for next year, my goal that I've set for myself is to do at least 750. So I'm upping the bar a realistic amount that I know I actually can do that, but it'll just take more dedication, right? And a little bit more work. So set a goal that will push you, but isn't totally out of reach. And of course, health also includes your eating, right? So whatever your dieting goals are, be specific with that. Diet's a tricky thing, so I don't even really want to get into it too much. Everyone's so different. So it could be something as simple as cutting out soda. If that's the one thing you do for your health for 2021, great, just cut out soda. So set some realistic goals that you know you can meet with that as well. Okay, the next category we're going to talk about is family. So what are your goals with your family? It could be being more involved with your family. Maybe you feel like you don't talk to them enough, you're not calling them enough. Make some goals for yourself to maybe like every Sunday you have a group chat. And especially now with COVID, I think it's important to utilize technology to stay in touch with people that you're not living with, that you're not quarantined with. So setting up, this is something my family's done. It's like every Sunday we do a group chat, or like a FaceTime call, something like that. And it's actually so nice. It's so incredible the benefit you get from doing that. Staying in touch with family is super important. So maybe if you have some conflicts in your family, maybe your goals are going to be to just reach out and try to resolve some of those conflicts. Or maybe it's going to be just to set aside time, like I said, and spend more time with family, or just calling your family more, or planning some kind of trip once COVID's over. Maybe start planning something so that you all can go somewhere and spend some quality time together. So what are your goals and resolutions concerning your family? Okay, so the next category we're going to talk about is social. So what are your social goals and resolutions? So this is mostly concerning probably friends. It could also mean your relationships with coworkers at work, anything social related. So maybe you want to push yourself more to be more social, or maybe you want to reel it in a little bit and take more time for yourself and set up boundaries with friends so that you can have a healthier social life if maybe you feel like you've been putting too much time into your friends. So think about, what are your social goals? Something that I've set a goal for myself socially is to ensure that I continue to eliminate any negative influences. It's super important to surround yourself with positive people who bring you up. You do not want to keep people around who bring you down. That's just no way to live. Think about the people you do surround yourself with. Maybe your goals can be to cut people out of your life. So it really depends on your situation. You want to draw people in, or do you want to cut people out? Okay, so the next category is hobbies. Hobbies are super important. Hobbies bring so much more value to life than a lot of people realize. And hobbies can also include volunteer work, giving back. In fact, the best hobbies are the ones that give back in a sense, because you feel so rewarded from those experiences. And you just feel good about yourself, and you know that when you're helping others, you have so much more value to your life, a lot of meaning to your life. So maybe your hobbies are giving back somehow, volunteer work, or maybe your hobbies are just things that bring you joy because they're just creative. So obviously a lot of people have creative hobbies, crafting, or I don't know, games, collecting things. There's all kinds of hobbies, right? But hobbies add another dimension to our life that brings us great joy. So I do believe it is so incredibly important to consider your hobbies in your goals. It'll be worth it for sure. Okay, so the next category we're going to talk about is home life. So your home life goals, that can be anything from moving. Maybe you want to buy a home. Maybe you just want to move into a new apartment. You want to rearrange the furniture. You want to do some redecorating. I believe that your environment is so important to your well-being, to be surrounded by things that make you happy, and to have an environment that supports your goals and gives you joy when you walk in the door. So think about your home life, and if you live with other people, it can include how you're interacting with those other people. If you have roommates, home life can be conflicts that need to be resolved. So I don't know, maybe like someone doesn't always do their dishes. You should definitely talk about those things so that you can have a more peaceful home life. If you have a family that you're living with, you want to maybe get together as a group at the beginning of the year and talk about your living environment and what's working and what's not working. Have a family discussion about what the goals are as a community, because you are living together, so your own little community, right? So talk about things, any concerns, what's working, what's not working, so that you can live together with more harmony. So home life can be all sorts of things. Okay, the final category that we're going to talk about is travel. So travel is really important. I know that right now with COVID, travel is kind of off the table. The COVID situation might clear up a little bit next year anyways, so I would absolutely set some travel goals for yourself, and even if they don't pull through, at least you're set up with a mindset that you know what you do want to do if you're able to. So even if it's something as short as like a day trip to a place that you've never visited before, and you just go on a hike, you do some sightseeing, you walk around downtown, anything like that is going to kind of reawaken your curiosity, and it really does give a lot to your sense of happiness and fulfillment. Being curious and exploring, those are all things that really add to who we are as people, and they bring us great joy. Okay, so those are the 9 categories that I recommend you guys consider when you're writing down your 2021 goals. So remember, you want to be as detailed as possible when you're writing these down. I think writing them by hand is really wonderful. If you do type it out, then obviously you can always just print out the page as well, and it's good to post that up on a wall somewhere so you can see it. And if you don't do that, I highly recommend that you read through these goals at the beginning of every month. So other than just writing it down on paper or typing it out in a Word document on your computer, I actually created like some workbook pages that you can fill out, and if you're interested in purchasing some of those pages, you can go find my shop on Etsy. I will leave a link down below. They're just digital, printable workbook pages. They're easy to download and you can just print them out and you can fill it in. It's like an organizer or like a planner that has all these kind of categories, and it asks like what are your affirmations, and it has a place where you can write down what you're grateful for. So just helpful, fun workbook pages. So if you guys are interested in purchasing that, you can check out my Etsy store. I will leave a link down below. Yeah, so that's another option if you guys are interested. I would love to hear some of y'all's ideas for your own goals. What are some of your resolutions? What are some of your goals? What are any other categories you would include? Please comment below, and I would love to read what you guys have to say about this. Yeah, so I think that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you for caring. Thank you for sharing. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say in the comments section. And please do like and subscribe. It really supports what my goal is here on YouTube. And I would love to continue bringing helpful content. I really look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.